Hello and welcome to my difficulty ranking of the Touhou main games. When making the ranking, I was mainly considering the normal difficulty within one coin clear as a goal, but most of what I'm going to say still applies to the other difficulties, so it makes no big difference whether you are new to Touhou or already done with all easy modes. Difficulty of course varies by the chosen character and shot type, your individual experience with the respective game and Touhou overall, so I can of course only talk about my very subjective point of view. To increase the precision of my ranking, I played through every game on normal and paid additional attention to bullet density, type and speed, their randomness, or if there are patterns to figure out, the characteristics of your shot type, possible save spots and available resources. Going into detail for every game and every stage would be way too much input though, so I'll mention only the most important things. One thing I want to say beforehand is that the difference in difficulty between the numbers 11 and 4 is rather tiny, while the numbers 3 to 1 are significantly harder than all the previous games. Now let's get into it. I'll start with the game I found to be the easiest. Number 11 goes to Touhou 10, Mountain of Faith. Tower 10 has a special bombing system where bombs aren't individual resources but instead are linked to your power. Using a bomb will cost 1 power. Since it goes up to 5 and you still do full damage with 4, this means your first bomb is free. The game gives a lot power items, so you can have an absurd amount of bombs per life. The only difficult part in this game is the last spell card of the stage 6 boss. It's long and hard and will destroy you mercilessly from the inside, but once it finishes, it's a great pleasure. You should have several lives left just for it, but that shouldn't be a problem, because you're getting plenty lives on the way. When doing a run for this video, I actually failed this one due to countless bullshit deaths from not bombing anything. That made me wonder if ranking this game that low is correct, but being as stupid as me is not a valid reasoning to justify calling it hard. Bomb till you drop and you're fine. Suggested character is Reimu A for the homing shot. Number 10 goes to Touhou 7, Perfect Cherry Blossom. Sakuya A has the probably best shot type from all games. Non-focused fire spreads out and covers the whole screen, trivializing stages. Focused fire shoots all projectiles as one stream and aims at the nearest target, allowing you to fully concentrate on dodging. Sakuya also has 4 bombs per life, so go ahead and abuse your "oh shit" button. Collecting the pink cherry items will fill up your cherry counter in the bottom left. When it reaches 50,000 points, you will automatically get a cherry border that lasts 9 seconds and will prevent death when you are hit within that time. Getting hit will erase all bullets from the screen, so you can abuse the cherry border and fly straight into a bullet right before the border ends. You'll get several cherry borders per stage, so that means even more free bombs. There are some really dense patterns, but that's what bombs are for. You also get more extra lives than I could count. In the run I did for this video, I had 4 bullshit deaths, bombed generously and still had 4 extra lives left at the end. The game is the longest, which means more opportunities to screw up. Don't try to be a hero, make use of your resources and you'll be fine. Number 9 goes to Touhou 8, Imperishable Night. Touhou 8 requires you to learn a bit more mechanics and patterns. It's also advisable to learn when you have to use focus or unfocused fire, because some enemies require to use one or the other. There's a stern difficulty spike with stage 4, so be ready to bomb. Don't worry, you'll get more than enough resources. The game is the first one in the series offering the spell practice feature from the main menu. Be sure to work on your shortcomings with it. Suggested character is the border team with Reimu and Yukari. The border team has a well-rounded shot type with Reimu firing homing projectiles when unfocused and Yukari firing concentrated and partially aimed projectiles when focused. They also have an increased time frame for death bombing, which can prevent some deaths. Just be aware that you will have to pay 2 bombs instead of 1, so it's definitely not recommended to rely on this mechanic. Number 8 goes to Touhou 9, Phantasmagoria of Flower View. Touhou 9 is a stupid game. No, seriously, you are playing against a computer that can go god mode and dodge whatever is coming. On the other hand, losing a life will cause the opponent to go easy on you and basically give you a free win. Be ready to lose some lives in the higher stages, but don't worry, because most likely you will have to screw up really big to die twice in one stage. For the most time you are dodging random stuff, so this game might be considered good for training your general bullet perception. Because of that, it's also hilarious to play it when being drunk. Best tactic to clear it would be to only use level 2 spells and sway left and right to kill the spirits. Suggested characters are Aya for fast and thick bullets or Medicine for the slowdown effect. Number 7 goes to Touhou 13, 10 Desires. Touhou 13 is an overall easy game. It's one of the games I like to choose when drunk or in need for some relaxing Touhou experience. There's just one big obstacle for those who work on their first one coin clear, the lack of extra lives. This means no bullshit deaths allowed. To optimize how many life parts you get, you have to memorize when the life piece enemies spawn and save your trance mode for them to double their value. Other than that, it's a straightforward game that even offers practice mode. Suggested characters are Reimu for the homing shot or Sanae for the spread. Number 6 goes to Touhou 16, Hidden Star in 4 Seasons. Some may surprise to see this game not in the lower end of the difficulty ranking. Touhou 16 throws a ton of extra lives at you, and you have the season releases in addition to your regular bombs. That allows to bomb or release through most of the game. It took me a few tries to get accustomed to having 2 or shit buttons though. One thing that really bugs me about that game is the 3D background combined with a bunch of different colors for projectiles and items. Sometimes it's really hard to see what's going on with that clusterfuck of colors. Suggested character is Reimu D for the homing shot and a relatively easy last spell. Number 5 goes to Touhou 6, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. This game has quite a lot of safe spots. My favorite one is that for the stage 2 boss Chirno's first non-spell attack right in her head. She's a baka, so her head is probably empty. But joke aside, Touhou 6 has a lot of patterns you can figure out, and once you know them, half of the game becomes trivial. The missing hitbox indicator increases the difficulty, but I think this is one of the cases where modifying the game and using the hitbox patch should be allowed for a proper one-coin clear. Overall, Touhou 6 is probably the most balanced game. It was hard to come up with anything worth mentioning that could be seen as easy or hard. Suggested character is Reimu A for the homing shot. Number 4 goes to Touhou 14, double dealing character. Sakuya A is back, and just as in Touhou 7, she comes with a load of awesome tools. Her unfocused spread erases stages and her focused shots are once again aimed. Her bomb got an upgrade though. Activating your bomb erases all bullets and gives you a shield much like the cherry border from Touhou 7, allowing you to erase all bullets again when hit. If you won't get hit, you get 3 bomb pieces back, making her bomb quite economical and efficient. But wait, there's more. Her focused shot now also slows time. Yup, cheat the game by slowing down enemies' bullets. Moving up to the point of collection grants you life and bomb pieces. If you know when to do this, you can easily get over 10 extra lives. Combine this with the power of Sakuya A and nothing can go wrong, right? Well, not necessarily. To get that many lives and bombs you have to practice a lot and get familiar with enemies' spawns and bullets. There are quite some patterns to figure out, and until you master that, rushing up will cause some unpleasant collisions. The stage 4 boss requires some tight micro dodges. Stage 5 boss will play dirty mind games and the stage 6 boss will screw your hitbox. Oh, and don't even try to capture the spell card You Grow Bigger. You'll regret that, trust me. So all in all, this game can become quite easy, but for a first time one-coin clear, it will require practice. Good thing that this game also offers practice mode. Now that we reach the top 3, there's a sudden jump in difficulty. It's weird, but the last 3 games are harder on normal than the first few games of this ranking on hard. Number 3 goes to Touhou 15, Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. This game is famous for its extraordinary difficulty, but I'm going to give it just number 3 because a considerable part of this game can be trivialized with Raisin's triple shield bomb. Just be aware, her shield may be enough to cheese through easy, but the invincibility after getting hit does only last for a brief moment. If you panic or don't know where to go, chances are that the next hit will come just right after. Especially lasers will shred through your shield in no time, so you still have to learn the patterns. Getting a grace value of 200 within a chapter grants you 1/3 of a life, and because the game throws a bunch of stuff at you, it's possible to get lots of extra lives. Raising of course means increased danger, so don't overdo it. Bullet density and complexity are on a whole different level compared to the games I've listed so far, so have fun grinding practice starts. On a side note, I still vividly remember my first time with Clown Piece. The music from stage 5 still haunts me in my nightmares. Number 2 goes to Touhou 12, Undefined Fantastic Object. First a good thing, Sanae has decent shot types and strong bombs, so we can confirm that Sanae is indeed a good girl. Oh, and the stage 2 boss Kogasa has awesome music, so that's nice. And that was a good part. Now the difficult things. Players have just 2 bombs per life, that's harsh. You may think that this shouldn't be that much of a problem because you get plenty of UFOs, but compared to easy mode, things change considerably on normal. UFOs are now death traps, remember that. The game likes to throw a huge amount of random bullets at you, so no easy streaming or cheesy patterns. Also lasers, lots of lasers, a freaking laser show, screw them. Or worse, curved lasers, like seriously, my brain just can't comprehend their paths. Even if they are not curved, as long as they come as fast as in the stage 5 boss's non-spells, you'll get traumatized for life. This game will test your reactions and quick decision making to the limit, so it's a game that requires mostly pure player skill. Unlocking stages for practice mode sucks due to repeating a stage from the beginning after continue, so you'll most probably have to download another player's save file to practice. And trust me, you will have to practice a lot. Oh, and the stage 6 boss has some killer attacks. I once got to here with 7 extra lives, bombed quite a bit and still finished with just 3 extra lives left. So you have to hold at least a few lives ready for her, like in Touhou 10. But instead of letting you cheese through until the last spell card, this game will keep you on your toes to the very end. And prepare your Sphincter Ani Externus, because the last one will cause some permanent damage. Number 1 goes to Touhou 11, Subterranean Animism. Touhou 11 takes place in former hell, and that is so damn fitting because this game is a living hell. And that could even be the positive thing, because once you've beaten it, you can say that you've been through hell and back. Touhou 11 uses the same power equals bomb system as Touhou 10, but instead of 5 maximum power you only have 4, so no free bomb anymore. There are also much fewer power items to pick up, causing a vicious circle of bombing reducing your power, making your shots deal not enough damage, causing the need for another bomb, leading to even less firepower. The shot types in this game are awful, so we have to look for what is not as bad as the others, which is Reimu A due to her border crossing ability, but this time without homing shots, or Marisa A for the good spread, but no single target damage whatsoever. Marisa B is probably the strongest, but very hard to learn. As with Touhou 12, unlocking practice start is a hassle due to starting from the very beginning after using a continue. This game keeps you at high tension from the very beginning, no bullshit deaths allowed. I've beaten 8 out of 11 games on hard and I can barely clear this game on normal. So yeah, that was my ranking. I hope you got some useful information. Leave a like or comment and see you again.